Do you feel that you're constantly interrupted and distracted when you try to get closer to your goals, so the things that you actually want in life to feel happier? Well, you're probably not alone. A lot of people, including myself, of course, are daily distracted by these kind of things, and it's hard to get over. But the key, I think, is to understand why this is happening. So I split this video up into 3 parts. First, understanding the physical foundation and chemicals behind that. Secondly, facing that challenge. And third, a solution on how to sort of improve on this and move forward. And first of all, I'm not a doctor. I don't have any certificates or anything like that. It's based on my own research and, hearing what others have to say, and also experimenting with myself. And first of all, doing a dopamine detox, I think, is basically what most people would describe as taking away all the fun in life. So I can definitely understand if this sounds very boring and hard, but you have to remember why you're doing this. And the key is to shift from in the moment sort of burst of enjoyment to achieving long-term goals and what would truly make you happy. Waking up Monday morning, being happy, feeling great about your life, not missing out on the next sugary candy or meal. So basically, knowing why am I doing this, and then work towards that in a way that makes you actually feel good along the way. Okay, so let's get started with number 1. So first, understanding the physical foundation. There are 4 key feel-good chemicals or neurotransmitters in the body: dopamine, serotonin, oxytocin, and endorphins. And it's key to understand how they work, because they play around with your mind and your brain and your body actually, to make sure that some other things don't get in the way of what you actually want. And there are of course other hormones and other chemicals as well, but these are 4 the main ones. So the focus of today and the problem that a lot of people face is the dopamine. So dopamine actually is released in your body in anticipation of getting a goal or getting a reward, getting closer to something. So you see a really nice meal, or you see something you want to buy in the store, that new car you want, or in animals basically seeing fruit hanging up the tree. You get dopamine when you see that, and that forces you to go there and get there. But once you get it, the dopamine stops, and then you have to rush for the next thing. So the second one is serotonin, and that's stimulated by feeling important, social status, and belonging. And of course, this is a problem today where you have social networks and likes and other things showing appreciation that feels you bad when you're comparing with other people. But the thing is, you can actually overcome this by focusing on what you have, not what you don't have. Because actually the mind or brain doesn't understand the difference between reality and memories. If you think about what you already have or what you have achieved in the past, and being grateful for the daily things. The third one is oxytocin, also called the cuddle hormone, creates trust, social safety, and from physical interaction with your significant other or children and so on in your social group. So the fourth one is endorphins. It produces kind of an euphoric feeling and actually suppresses pain. So if you're an animal running on the savannah being chased by a lion, even if you get bitten or hurt, you can still continue running to safety basically. So if you're out running after 20 minutes, you can feel this, runner's high, especially if you combine it with the other ones, chasing a personal record, and you get the dopamine rush for that at the same time as you have the endorphins. So when you have high interval training or intensity training and running, you get it after 20 minutes and also lasts for 20 minutes. So those together, of course, are very important to keep in mind, when you work towards your own goals and what you achieve in life. So the problem is that a lot of people get trapped in the short-term dopamine triggers of eating fast food, drinking alcohol, and so on, and being on social media, because you constantly chase the next dopamine high. So that brings me to the second part, facing this challenge. So a lot of things in the daily life are actually designed with this in mind. So it's quite sinister, actually, you could say. Such as tasty foods. So you look at the menu and it looks fantastic, and you think about, wow, if I get this steak or this tasty snack, or win this game, get to the next level, if I buy this thing, then I will feel better. Once you get there, you immediately look for the next thing. So watching TV, social media, you check your phone because you think maybe there's a notification there, alcohol, you see an ad for that beer, you feel like, wow, gonna feel great once I get it, and then you get it, then you think about the next thing, playing video games, getting to the next level, competing, winning, dating apps, swiping right, left, buying things, gambling, and eating unhealthy foods, drinking coffee, smoking or other drugs. So the problem is, if you're constantly just in this dopamine mode looking for the next one, you basically never get out of the short term and look for the long term things that actually create happiness. You just become a consumer of these things that drives dopamine rushes constantly, rather than producing things actually getting closer to your goals that you get a reward out of and feeling better. So the key is to sort of stop doing that and actively go for the more long-term things, and resetting the level of dopamine actually, so you get more sensitive and can appreciate smaller things getting closer to what you actually want. So that brings me to the third one, the solution to this. So the idea with the dopamine detox is basically to reset or lower your dopamine level, so you actually get enjoyment or dopamine from smaller things, smaller rewards. So you kind of trick your body, instead of just increasingly all the time going for the big new things, shiny things. You sort of reset your body and you set your goals. And once you achieve those small goals, you actually get the dopamine rush, because let's say you want to lose weight. You decide to eat better, and you think about, wow, I'm gonna feel nice tomorrow morning when I wake up and I actually lost weight. And then you actually get dopamine from that. Then you wake up in the morning and you see lost weight. Wow. Then your mind remembers this and creates neurological paths. So the next time you're, tempted to get that burger or you have that beer, you think about, wait a minute, if I don't do this, I will feel great tomorrow when I get closer to my goal. And then you feel nice about the decision because you get dopamine. Then you wake up and that becomes stronger and stronger. So you basically create these neurological paths with dopamine rushes for smaller things that you before never thought would make you feel good, like exercise. Why would anyone want to do that? Because once you get into the habit of doing that, you actually start enjoying it. So you basically get addiction to this dopamine that's created for something that's good. It takes you closer to what you actually want. So start small. You can cut out added sugar. So stop eating chocolate, candy, snacks, and then after a while, even just switching from having bland oats or eggs in the morning, now you add some fruit and you feel like, wow, because that's so unexpected, and you get this dopamine trigger just thinking about that. Or skipping that drink after work that you right now crave, because you feel good when you have that. You stop that and you feel good about losing weight instead. Same with social media or eating junk food, watching TV. When you take away all these triggers, it's gonna feel really tough first. So give it a day or longer, and then when your levels go down, you basically get more sensitive or appreciate these smaller things instead. So imagine what it's going to feel like when you get there, and things will get much closer, easier to continue with. So of course, losing weight is one thing, but it can be learning a language. Like imagine how good you will feel tomorrow if you sit down and actually study 3 hours. How great you're going to feel on that test when you actually get that great score. Then you get motivated by the dopamine rush of doing that. And of course, this is down to actually brain science. So it takes up to 45 days to create these new neurological paths in your brain. So it's not going to happen overnight, but there is a science to it. So I think it's key to just understanding that a lot of people are addicted basically to these short-term dopamine rushes that feel good in the moment, but they don't create lasting happiness, because dopamine is not happiness, it's just a short rush for the next thing that you're going to chase. So my advice is that you set your goal and really focus on what you want, and you stop doing all the other things that don't bring you closer to that goal, and you start maybe just by one day and abstaining from all these TV, junk food, going socializing instead of being home and reading that book, going to the gym, eating healthy, and then you sort of extend that to working more and more, and then you will actually get these dopamine highs from that instead. And when you break it down to a small goal, short-term, medium and long-term goal, you will constantly feel that you're progressing. So you get motivated to continue on this new path. So it sounds easy to do, of course, in theory. In practice, it's harder. But I think the key is just resetting, doing this detox, taking away all these distractions. It's going to feel tough. You're going to have a withdrawal. But then you're actually going to wake up Monday morning and, not having these withdrawals because you've skipped maybe, drinking alcohol, smoking, eating unhealthy foods, not exercising, and you work on these good things during the weekend. Monday morning comes and you feel fantastic. So that can be a big game changer actually. So let me know what goals you're working towards, if this helped you. If you like it, give it a like, subscribe, and then I'll see you next video.